During the last few years, we've ventured into a lot of different fields, and we've had the opportunity to meet and work with a lot of wonderful people. I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Congratulations, Mr. Mickey Mouse. Congratulations to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Walt Daily. This is episode 58. And for those that don't know us by now, we're a Disney couple. One of us is a Disney fanatic and one of us is Disney challenged. But somehow we've made a way to make this relationship work.
Yeah.
All right. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
I'm super duper excited about this episode, and I hope everyone is just by reading the title.
Yes, that's true. But first, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Doing good. How about you?
Okay, I'm doing great.
I'm drinking wine.
Oh, okay. Is that why you're all flustered?
No, that's why I'm all excited. It's
Okay.
just part of the reason.
Well, then let's get into headlines.
Okay. First headline. The Wilderness Lodge is rumored to be getting, no, I think it's confirmed to be getting now, a character dining experience.
That's pretty cool.
Which it hasn't had a character dining experience up
Ever?
till now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
At this particular resort. But here's the crazy part. And I'm still kind of on the fence about this, and maybe some of the listeners might be on the fence about it for the same reason. It's going to be at Artist's Point, which is the fine dining option, like the more adult-oriented option for dining at the Wilderness Lodge. And it's going to be turned into a Snow White character experience. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, so you won't be able to see Mickey? That sucks.
Oh.
Like Mickey and Minnie, like the regular guys?
Well, there's other options to see Mickey and Minnie,
Yeah,
and the rest of the gang.
Okay, cool.
But the reason why I'm kind of like on the fence is because it's like removing a fine dining experience that's without characters, and sometimes maybe you want a nice dinner with no characters. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Disney
It's
responds
Disney,
to
though.
demand. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Yeah, Disney responds to demand, so it must have been something that was in demand.
I feel like it should be expected that if you eat somewhere in Disney, it's going to be like Disneyed out. Like if you want to have a regular dining experience, go outside of Disney.
But that's so far.
I know, I'm just saying.
But Disney doesn't
Like
want
you
that.
went to Disney.
The whole point of that Disney even building resorts is just so that they can keep all the people inside their property.
Yeah,
So that's not their goal.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
We're right. I love you.
I know.
Okay. Next headline. And this one I'm really, really excited about. There's going to be a new painting class. You heard me right. A painting class at Animal Kingdom Lodge called Wild About Painting.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it should have been happened already. Like I'm not surprised by this because I feel like they're actually late.
Yeah.
Like-
So you know the classes like Painting with a Twist where you go in and then they teach you how to paint a picture or whatever it may be. So it's going to be that kind of a concept. And the cost is going to be $50 a person, and they provide you with all the supplies that you're going to need. And you do have to make reservations at 407 Play Disney.
Okay.
You have to call that number for the reservation. Here's the interesting part too. So you have to be 12 and older to participate, but if you're 21 and older, you get a complimentary adult beverage.
Nice.
Which is crazy because
How much is it?
It's $50
Oh, okay.
a person. Which is
Solid $50 wine there.
I know. But what I was going to say, it's crazy because the concept of those types of painting experiences is that it's like painting and wine. And so you're absolutely right. Like Disney is late, but it's still going to be awesome.
I feel like what they should, I'm actually curious to hear as to, like, is it going to be tailored to, like, something that's Disney, like painting? That's number one. Number two, I'm wondering, maybe, I feel like they should do, like, some sort of, like, instead of, like, painting with a twist, it's like, build a ride,
Like a computer graphics, like VR or something or other?
Yeah, I mean, not that in depth, but like more so like, I mean, you can do like I'm sure they have drawing boards for like rides and stuff. So like it could be like, like this is what we go through when we do a ride. like when we design a ride, and like just overview of basics and stuff.
So it's like a class on ride Imagineering?
Yeah, but it's like, but also teach, but it's same thing with painting. It's, instead of like going to art class, you go to painting with a twist, and instead of going to Imagineering class, you go to this one.
Do you still get
an
an adult beverage?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe coffee so you can like be more productive.
Oh, true.
You know, I don't know. That's what I would want to go to. Like, I'm not going to care for this, right? But if they did like the, ooh, look how we do a drawing board for a ride class, I'd be like, yes, sign me up.
Well, next time me and my sister go to Disney, I'm definitely going to sign us up for this class.
Okay.
My sister loves wine.
Okay.
She's a wino.
Well, you don't have to go to the painting class to get wine.
But it's
You probably
just,
get more wine for your dollars if you
not
just
the-
go buy wine.
You know that's not the point. You know
just
that's not
saying.
the point.
Okay.
But anyways, so it's going to be offered on Sundays at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and it's going to start this month in September.
Nice.
Yay. Okay, now, the biggest headline. And the...
Spit it out.
the topic of this episode,
Okay.
Epcot Food and Wines Festival.
Okay.
It has begun. And it's now running through November 12th.
Nice. Okay.
So we're going to be talking a lot about Epcot Food and Wine Festival today. We're going to be doing in some tips and tricks and things like that. And I'm really, really excited to get your take on these things, to see if you agree with these tips and tricks, because you've been.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Football's back. That's a headline for me. I'm super excited that football's back.
Well,
I got addicted to spinners.
fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners. I got one. This is a personal headline, not related to Disney. Well, maybe they probably have a bunch of Disney spinners. Anyway,
They
I'll probably
probably
get one
do.
when I go now.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I got one at a trade show, and now I got like a super fancy one, and now I'm like addicted to spinners.
It's crazy to hear that you have like an idea of what a fancy spinner is like, and I'm just like, what? This one doesn't even have the little wings.
I'm super late though, because it's like a 2016, 2017 fad, but it's like late 2018, and I'm really getting into it.
Yeah. And you're also a grown man.
And I'm a grown man. It's fine.
That's okay.
Okay.
Even if you're late. That's what happens when you get old, is you're late to everything.
Yeah, it's true, I guess.
Like this newfangled thing called Facebook.
Yeah. I just regret that I didn't get into spinners right when it came out, because I missed out on all that time playing spinners.
You mean I could have been playing with a spinner this whole time?
I know.
No way.
I don't advise anyone to use it though, because they're super addicting.
I don't find them addicting at all. And maybe because I just don't have that kind of coordination in my hands.
Yeah, because you don't know how to use it right.
Well, then why do you hand it to me acting like I know what to do with it?
It's pretty intuitive, but for some reason you're not latching on to that concept.
It's not that intuitive. Because to me, here's the thing. Okay, and then we're going to get back to Disney.
All right.
When I see a fidget spinner, I literally, when I first saw it, I thought it was like an automatic thing that, because you know how you have to hold the middle with your thumb and your
You
index
thought like
finger.
you press it and it just starts spinning?
Yes, which I would have liked a lot better, because
Maybe that's like the next gen spinners.
next gen, and it also doubles as a fan. I'm wondering why it doesn't even blow off like cool air at this point.
Ah, that's funny.
It's so
Doubles
hot.
as a fan.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get into this episode.
Okay. So let's start off with the basics. So what is Food and Wine Festival? So it's basically a time at Epcot during the fall where there's a ton of options of different culinary experiences, different beverage offerings, more so than what the normal is. Mm-hmm. And so this year, there's over 30 booths, which the little kiosks that aren't normally in Epcot, they appear, and they have different countries, they have different concepts, so it's not always like a country related, so it might not be Belgium, let's say, but it might be Taste Track, which is one of the newer
Play on Test Track, right?
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. So it's one of the newer food booths that's going to be coming around this year.
Yeah.
There's food seminars, and there's also special merchandise. Mm-hmm. So for instance, if you're an annual pass holder, this is something I'm excited about too. You get a food and wine magnet, which is something that they do depending on the event. So that's pretty standard. But after your fourth visit to Food and Wine Festival, you get a Mickey Mouse cutting board.
So you got to go 4 times and you get a cutting board.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do that.
Yeah. You can't just buy it, right?
I bet you. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to buy it on eBay eventually.
This is like the brick thing. Like I remember at the gingerbread house, we waited in line for like easily 25 to 30 minutes for a gingerbread brick, and then literally 5 feet away, there's a convenience store selling those same bricks.
You know,
Same thing.
I hear what you're saying, but part of it about waiting for the gingerbread shingle, because it's not a brick, it's in the shape of a roof shingle, is because you're buying it from a life-size gingerbread house.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like a small child, I think that makes sense. But I think if we're an adult just needing this shingle, I don't see why we have to wait at the actual house thingy. Unless they're actually, I don't even think they're probably not even pulling it from the house.
No, well, no, they're not. Of course not.
See, they should. I feel like if you wait in line there, they should be pulling it from the house.
How dusty are those, though? They
It
might
doesn't
be
matter.
dusty.
They should be in bags. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to food and wine. I'm just saying,
Okay.
Can we buy this board?
To my knowledge, you cannot, but if that may change.
Okay.
I mean, eventually you'll be able to buy it on eBay and things like that. So
Yeah.
technically, yes.
Okay.
But it's not even about that. It's about like saying I was able to go to Epcot Food and Wine 4 times at least.
Okay.
And I got this cutting board and I was able to try a whole bunch of delicious food.
Okay.
So,
Right.
but
Are you gonna try to do like every single booth? Is that a thing? Right. That's what people do.
oh yeah, people do that.
Is that what the passport's for?
Yeah, which we're
Okay.
going to get into. So I'm glad you brought that up.
All right.
So aside from the annual pass holder gifts, there's also special merchandise that have different graphics saying Food and Wine 2018. And there's also special events and culinary classes. There's celebrities, and I say like celebrities in quotes because it's like food celebrities that some people may know, some people may not know, depending how into like food TV you are. So, and there's also a wine and dine half marathon. So it's literally a half marathon that's based around the Food and Wine Festival.
Do you drink alcohol as you run?
No.
Oh, okay.
Which there's an interesting history behind the Food and Wine, or the Wine and Dine half marathon, because it actually used to be at night, but they've changed it so that it's in the morning.
Is it because there was like issues with people trying to drink and run and like pass out?
I
and
think
stuff?
I think maybe part of
Trip?
the issue was like, you literally run 13 miles, which is amazing, and you probably feel like you're going to pass out, and then you go drink some booze, and it's like, oh my goodness.
And then you actually die.
And then you actually die. You do not make it out of Epcot alive.
Is there Oh man, I want to know now. Okay, you have homework.
Thanks. At least it's Disney homework. I like that. Okay. So how did Food and Wine Festival even come about? So there was a time in the 90s when the vice president of Epcot was challenged with the fall attendance at the park dropped significantly from the summer.
Okay.
Richies' face is lighting up because he's
pretty
like,
interesting.
yeah.
I'm interested to hear how this guy did this. All right, go continue.
And so what he noticed was that there was a newish event called the Food and Wine Classic in Aspen that was held by the Food and Wine magazine. And he saw that a lot of different culinary, a lot of different types of culinary things were at this event. And if you watch Top Chef, like that's like a known thing. The Food and Wine Classic in Aspen is one of their prizes that they get. So
Okay.
it's a pretty prestigious event now. But he saw how like they would have all these different types of cuisines, and he thought that World Showcase would be the perfect place to also showcase all these different types of cuisines for a certain time of the year.
Yeah. God, that's crazy.
One of the challenges, though, that he thought of, and this is the now president of Walt Disney Resort. Was it Walt Disney World Resort? Well, anyways, George Kalogridis. So he was wondering, would people want to pay extra money on top of the admission fee to get in order to experience all these different types of cuisines and beverages? And then what he noticed was that a local event in Central Florida, it was like a wine type of tasting where dinner was included. People would pay $150 for this event. So he was like, this could work. And then in 1996, they incepted Food and Wine Festival for the first time.
Cool.
Where it was only 30 days long, actually. And so now, just to give you some perspective, it's 75 days long.
Okay.
So over twice as long as
And
what it was originally.
Did he charge more? Did they charge more?
For admission?
Yeah.
No. So historically, park admission does go up every year, every couple of years, usually during the summertime. And here's a fun fact that's probably going to blow your mind, though, just because you brought up park admission. At the time, in 1996, a one-day park ticket was $42.
Wow. Okay. So he did this thing in 1996. Was there a crazy increase in traffic, like in people? Over
time. So at first, it wasn't really getting as much traction as it is today, but now it's like this huge thing. People don't go to Epcot during the summer because they know that they're going to go during the fall for food and wine. Yeah. Which is insane. And then they started the Eat to the Beat concert. They added that in 2002, which is like a concert series. So depending on the day that you're there, you'll be able to see like another cool vintage band or something maybe from our childhood or, whatever. Okay. Like Boys to Men.
Okay.
Why'd you roll your eyes?
I don't know. It's just not dying to go see Boys to Men nowadays.
I'm just saying, I said our childhood.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I'm also going to say Hanson, but I don't think you're dying to see them either. But I am. And then the Wine and Dine Half Marathon in the 2010s. I think it was 2015 that the first Wine and Dine Half Marathon happened. And that's just like a combination of the popularity of Run Disney events, like the marathon, half marathon, and Food and Wine Festival. Yeah. They had a baby. And it's not drinking while you're running.
Yeah. Did we do an episode on the marathon stuff yet?
No.
Okay. That'd be interesting to hear about. Okay. We should do an episode, but like because we're preparing for one, so we should actually do like a 5K or something.
I was about to say, if you were going to say instead of a 5K to do a half marathon, I'd be looking at you like,
I mean, we could do it. I can do it. I just thought we should start at a 5K and then go up. Like that seems like what normal people do. Start
small and go big.
Yeah. I mean, I can run. I've run 9 miles before without like practice.
Really?
Yeah.
When
I was in high school.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this just wasn't normal.
He's far removed from high school, just so everybody knows.
I'm just saying, I did it. I can do it again. It wasn't like I didn't die or anything.
Well, that's hard though.
I know. I'm just saying I can do it. I'm just letting you know that if we wanted to jump into like a half, I can do it.
Okay. Well, glad to hear it.
It's all a mind game, really. It's all.
Yeah, I
mental.
agree. Running can be mental.
It's all mental.
Well, okay. Let's press on.
All right.
So I want to go over today some tips and tricks if you're new to Food and Wine Festival or you want to get the most out of Food and Wine Festival for your next visit. Okay. So my first tip, look at the menus ahead of time. I love that there's so much Disney information online just because it'll beat those Disney blues when you're not there, but also so that you can prepare very well for your upcoming trip. So Disney Food Blog, allears.net, they have full menus available, and they even have pictures available so that you can look through the menus and countries and plan what you want to eat when you're there.
Do they do like a release event for the menu?
Well, I don't think they do an event necessarily, but it's big news online when the menus are released.
Oh, okay.
Like, you'll know the day that they're released because all of your major Disney news sites are reporting on it.
Oh, okay. And do they put stuff like on Instagram like, it's here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people do.
That's
just
cool.
Fans, news sites all together. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's pretty overwhelming because each booth has the average of about 3 to 4 dishes to eat and then 3 to 4 drink options. Sometimes they also have dessert options, and they even have full dessert booths. So depending on how much you can eat, you want to be able to experience the things that you want to experience most and then not get too full early in the game. Mm-hmm. And so that's what planning and looking at the menu is going to do. So it's going to, keep you prepared. Okay. Okay. My next tip is avoid sit-down restaurants. So Epcot has a lot of great restaurants that you have to make reservations for way in advance, and it's a nice dining experience. But when Food and Wine Festival is going on, you won't necessarily be able to experience these dishes and cuisines that they have for this limited time again. So like, what if there's something that you want to try in, I'm trying to think, in the Spain kiosk, let's say. But what if they don't bring it back? What if that one dish is only for this year and
Yeah.
you don't get to try it again?
But that's if you're like going to Epcot regularly. Like, what about the people that, you know, they're going and they might not be going often?
I'm glad you brought that up because that was my next point.
Okay.
But don't kill yourself trying to do it.
Okay.
Because if you really want to try pizza at Via Napoli, which is delicious, then go for it. But maybe get like a small serving.
Okay. So, but people should still, like, if they're going to Food and Wine for like once and they're not going to go for like another couple years, they should also go inside to those sit-down ones, right?
Yeah, if it's something that they really want to try, and if the menu option of the sit-down restaurant looks more appealing than something that would be outside in a kiosk, then absolutely.
Okay.
You're at Disney, you're on vacation for most people, and you're there to enjoy yourself.
Okay.
But if you're going to go multiple times, then try to avoid the sit-down restaurants.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing, how to stick to a budget when you're at Food and Wine Festival. So depending on the item on the menu, it ranges from like $3 and some change. Some can be up to like $8 and some change. And the same goes for the drinks. Like the portion sizes are fairly small, but they do range from like $4 to $10, again, depending on where you are and what you're getting. The best way to stick to a budget is to actually get a gift card. So
Smart.
yeah, and so Disney's smart too because they're the ones that have really thought of this ultimately. So they have a special Food and Wine gift card, and you can load it, and it actually comes with like a wristband, so you can wear it around your wrist.
Yeah.
So it facilitates two things: so a limited budget, so that you can plan how much you're going to spend, and also easy payment, so you're not reaching in for your credit card or what have you, but it's right on your wrist, so you can just swipe it and go.
It's gonna be a rough day for people when they did that whole pre-budget thing and all of a sudden they're only halfway through and then they like run out of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, crap.
I know. That I feel like would happen to me probably.
Yeah.
But if you plan ahead by looking at the menus, you can kind of see, okay, if this is what I'm going to hit, this is how much it's going to cost me, so then I'm going to load my card with this amount
I
of
feel
money.
like it's expensive though.
It can be pricey.
Like, because I remember going and I just remember at some point I was just like, I can't even keep track of this.
Yeah.
Like, when I want to try all this food, and I just feel like I just keep seeing like between $7 and $15 just being rung up. And I'm just like, this can possibly add up. I didn't even check how much we spent, but I feel like it's expensive. So I think keeping an eye on your budget, it's important.
Yeah. And I mean, something I did want to bring up also, because some people say like, oh, well, but then it's a gift card. What if I don't spend everything? What if I did really well on my budget and I still have money left over? That gift card can be used. It's like a Disney gift card. It can be used anywhere else.
Like for
Disney.
merchandise and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about spending it all if you don't need to.
Okay.
Here's another budget saving tip, since we're just going to talk about budget for now. Go in a group. If you go in a group, you'll be able to not only taste more food, but the budget's going to be spread out across a few more people as well. I mean, depending on how close you are,
Well, you got to do when you buy people drinks, it's like, all right, I'll buy this round.
Exactly.
And maybe like when I say round, it's like just one plate, not two plates for one plate each person.
Yeah.
You just buy one plate and you guys split it just so you can taste it. Mm-hmm. And the next person buys the next plate.
Exactly.
And if you really like something, you just go back and get it. I need to get a whole plate.
Exactly. So,
cool.
And that'll allow you to try all the different types of foods. Like because if it was just you and I, it would be a lot harder to try one thing from all 30 something kiosks than if it was like a group of 10, let's say.
Do they have like organized like Epcot meetups for like random people? You ever hear about those?
Yeah, I think I have actually. I haven't attended one though.
Okay.
You wanna go?
No.
Oh.
I'm just curious.
Okay, fine. All right. My next tip: get a passport. And so your passport is basically your full guide to Food and Wine Festival, and it has not only the Eat to the Beat concert lineup based on the dates, so you can kind of plan ahead like, oh, it's Hanson, I definitely want to go to that. But it also has all the menu options in the passport. So I have it here. I'm going to show Richie so that...
Drop a bunch of stuff out.
Just dropping some stuff from last year. And so it has like all the menus, and it even has little check marks, so that little boxes for check marks so you can check it. Here's the crazy hack behind the passport. It's an order. So if you're walking from, let's say you're starting in Mexico and moving around all the way to Canada, which is on the other side,
Why
everything...
are you saying starting in Mexico? What if you start the other way?
Okay, then you start at the back of the book.
What's the other way, though?
What do you mean?
So Mexico is what, left?
Mexico is to the left.
Okay, so what happens when you go right?
You go to Canada.
Okay.
So all the kiosks are in order. So like, let's say you started in Mexico. Each time you turn the page, let's say, it's going to be whatever you're going to walk into next in terms of the kiosk. And then if you start on the other side, you just start from the other side of the passport, and it's in the order, in reverse order.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool because then you can kind of see like, oh, what's coming up next? Like, let's say Richie wants to get something from Ireland, but I'm not really into Ireland, so I'm going to kind of look ahead, and I can look ahead to see what the next kiosk is. Oh, it's going to be France. I do want the croissant and escargot.
And you have to get a new passport for every year, right? It's not the same.
Yeah, so every year is going to be a little bit different because they add items, they add kiosks, they take away items. The cool part about the passport is if you keep it for the whole season, and even if you don't, you have stickers in here so that each item, each place that you go, you can put a sticker right next to the menu because it's like a stamp in your passport. Although, here's my pet peeve with the stamps though. The stickers though, they used to be stamps.
What do you mean they used to be stamps?
They used to be ink stamps given by the cast members.
Oh, okay.
But now they're just stickers.
Why'd they stop it?
I don't know. I maybe it was too much work for the cast member to do because it's so busy.
You should buy individual stamps and just drop them off there and just see if they'll use them. Here you go. You're missing this.
Here you go. I noticed you didn't have a stamp.
Yeah, I noticed.
I got one for you.
I noticed you're missing your stamp. Here.
But
don't lose it.
I know. Don't lose it. So it's just...
Don't do shift. Pass it on to the next person. I'm checking on you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so. Because that means I'd be back twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the cool thing about the passport and why it's not only cool, but functional.
It is pretty functional.
Yeah. When I discovered that, like my whole food and wine life was changed.
When did you discover that?
A few years ago.
Okay.
Like relatively recently in the grand scheme of food and wine. So, yeah. All right. So, my next tip, get a tray.
Okay.
Get a little plastic tray that they sell at the festival that has a little, it's a handheld tray that has a little cup holder, and it also has a little plate so you can put your food item on. Mm-hmm. The reason why you want to get this is because it's very difficult to walk, hold your drink, and start eating your food at the same time. Yeah. And not only that, because it is so crowded, table space can be limited. And even when you do the garbage can dining, where you put your drink and your food on the garbage can and you're just eating it, that's also pretty limited. Mm-hmm. Especially on weekends and evenings, it gets super crowded. So if you have the tray, which this one I have here is from 2015. It was only $5.95, so it couldn't be more than a couple of dollars more now. They are worth every penny. They're definitely worth it. Now, don't they have a chain one? I could have swore I saw that, or no? Like one that attaches to your neck, so you don't even have to use like your hands specifically? I'm not sure. If they don't have that, they should definitely do that. It reminds me of like that tie at Christmas that you can put like your drink in. It's like a tie. It's like an ugly Christmas tie, and you put your drink in the cup holder that has like it's attached to it. They should offer those as well. I feel like anything that can make your hands freer, they should offer. Yeah. Because it's a huge part in managing. Plus, you're trying to take pictures. Like, what happens when you want to pull out your phone for something? Mm-hmm, exactly. Like, there's so many reasons to be hands-free. Yeah, I agree. So. I 100% agree. The problem I usually run into when I go to Food and Wine is I forget my tray, and I end up having to buy a whole new set. Yeah. Every time. But they're like little collectibles because they are printed for each year. So every year has its own design. So even if you do forget it and you have to buy a new one, it's okay because it's like a cool souvenir on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. All right. My next tip. And this I'm going to say to my wonderful fiancé, Richie. Be adventurous and try new things. Foods that you wouldn't normally try and that you might not even like, you should try them.
Disclaimer though, because unless you don't like spicy food, don't try spicy food because that crap is actually spicy. I tried that. Like, it's like, oh, but just try it, like, because where's Food and Wine? Just try it. And no, my mouth was on freaking fire. It was the worst. So if you don't like spicy food, just don't eat the spicy food stuff.
Okay, fine. So no spicy foods. But if it's vegetarian, if it's gluten-free, don't be afraid because it's, it's named for a specific population, let's say, that has, food requirements.
Yeah. Or
Just
if you're
go
allergic, don't try the peanut stuff.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't want to be responsible.
I'm talking about you specifically.
Okay.
Who has no peanut allergies or gluten allergies.
No, luckily.
Yeah. So just try what you normally wouldn't try. And don't be scared because even if you don't like it, then it's a few dollars. And if you have to throw it away, you have to throw it away. But now you'll at least experience something new, which is awesome. And that's one of the coolest things about Food and Wine is like all these foods that you would have never been able to try, you can try.
That's true.
So, yeah.
All like in one place.
Exactly.
So speaking of trying, what's your favorite like place to try in?
My go-to kiosk is usually Africa in the Outpost.
Okay.
I love the flavors of cumin and Berber spice. It's so good. And it's usually spicy.
Yeah.
Which means that I don't have to share with Richie.
That's true. Because I like spicy food.
And I don't like sharing.
It's true. She's a terrible sharer. It's weird.
It's not that I don't like sharing. I just want to know ahead of time so I can plan my portion size.
It's weird because I grew up an only child and I'm so good at sharing.
You really are.
Yet you...
Okay, Richie.
You have siblings and you do not share at all. Like, for whatever reason, it's like a problem with you.
Disclaimer, I'm a middle child. So
Doesn't matter.
First
you
of
have
all,
siblings.
That's like the worst place in childhood because everything gets stolen from you. You have to inherit everything from your older sibling, but your younger sibling takes everything you love away.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh my gosh.
Is that why for real?
Like psychology, instantly.
Is that how you truly feel though, or are you just like making that up? Seriously.
It could be possible.
But you don't know for sure.
I don't know because I do like my siblings.
You just understand.
I never felt deprived as a child. I'm just bad at sharing.
Okay.
But whatever. Anywho.
All right.
Back on topic, please. So, now, the Eat to the Beat concerts. So those are going to run throughout the festival season, and depending on the time that you go, you're going to see a new band or group. So if you're able to plan ahead of time and go when you want to see, let's say, I don't know why I keep saying Hanson. I really, really want to see Hanson. They play at 5:30, 6:45, and 8 o'clock. The interesting thing about the Eat to the Beat concerts, and just concerts in general at Epcot that have recurring times during the day, the band will usually not play the same set each time. So if you like Mbop, they're probably not going to play that until 8 because that's, their most popular song. So they're not going to want to play that for the 5:45 crowd maybe, but they'll maybe wait until the late night crowd. So you have to keep going to every single concert so they can fill up the concert.
Nice.
So it makes it look busy.
Okay.
Which it definitely would be. In terms of seating, so for the concerts, you really don't need to, unless you want a seat, there's usually almost always standing room at these concerts. So if you have to, rush over there last minute to hear the music, you'll be able to hear the music from the American Adventure Pavilion, which is where the concerts are actually held.
Is this the only time that they have concerts at Epcot?
No, they have concerts during Flower and Garden Festival as well.
Okay.
And do they have concerts during the Festival of the Arts? They have concerts a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. They do have concerts during Festival of the Arts. They do the Disney Broadway series.
Perfect.
I'm just saying. So, and another thing about Hanson, this is my last thing about Hanson, I'm so sorry. Hanson, they also have a beer called Hops.
Okay.
So you
that's
can
funny.
watch Hanson while you're drinking Hops.
That's funny. You're super excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually the weekend of my birthday that they're
Are we
playing.
going?
No, because I work.
Oh. That
So,
sucks.
so we will not be seeing them.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Anyways, so I want to wrap up our food and wine tips, tricks, and hacks with a couple of general things. So stay hydrated.
Okay.
Because it's not only hot, but if you are going to be drinking alcohol and eating a lot of foods that can, depending on the salt level, the sugar level, they can also dehydrate you. Make sure you keep in mind that with every drink you have to have a drink of water type of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for a safety tip.
Oh my gosh. And here's a fun fact that I know.
Safety first, teamwork second. Throw that in there.
Very good.
Okay.
You want to know what a protein spill is?
A protein spill? Mm-hmm. Sounds familiar.
That's what cast members call when a guest has a vomiting episode.
Oh. Protein spill sounds like something that like people that work out a lot know about. Like that sounds like a term that like someone that's like really fit knows.
A protein spill?
Yeah.
And it refers to like vomiting also?
I don't know what it refers to.
Oh, okay.
It could be. I mean, or it could just be like, I need mad protein right now. Like I need 38,000 grams of
Jeez,
protein at this current moment.
How do you eat that?
Protein spill.
Oh my gosh. How do you even do that?
All right. Sorry.
Okay, so it's a fun fact that they call it a protein spill. Be aware, crowd levels are going to be high, especially on weekends when locals are off from work, and there tends to be a lot of local college students that go on weekends as well. Just be mindful of etiquette, and that even though it's crowded, it might be hot, you might be drinking a little, you still want to be very courteous to guests and cast members while you are at the festival. And of course, and I'm saying this specifically to Richie, make sure you bring an external battery for your cell phone so you can put all those pictures on Instagram, because that'll drain some battery.
Okay. Nice tip. Nice tips.
So I hope that enlightened you for our trip.
I would say the most interesting thing was the whole guy being challenged to like do something bigger, and he came up with Epcot Food and Wine.
I knew you would like that.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. So I was playing with my little spinner here the whole time. It was pretty fun. So for anyone that's watching and obviously listening, we'd appreciate you to subscribe, leave us a comment, rating, follow us on any one of your favorite social media websites. We'd love to connect. We'd love to hear your feedback. Or if you're just going to say hi, come do that as well.
We love to say hi.
Yeah.
And as always, we thank you guys so much for listening. We hope this brought a little bit of magic to your day, and we'll see you at Food and Wine Festival. Goodbye!